Unit 3, Writing a letter to the editor. Editor is someone who is in charge of a newspaper or a magazine. 1. Discuss. What examples of vandalism can you think of?
Police will be here in a minute. Looking about. That fucking buzz is going to collapse.
You have just witnessed acts of vandalism. Vandalism is damaging public buildings and equipment. I've heard of football fans in many countries who commit acts of vandalism. Acts of vandalism. They would go and destroy public buildings and equipment during games. They destroy stadiums and surrounding shops around stadiums. What do you think causes vandalism? What reasons make people do this? Well, people who commit acts of vandalism have a lack means very little or no respect, no consideration for public property, public buildings and equipment, and for other citizens. Citizens, residents, people who live in a town or a city in general. Also, because they have no sense of responsibility. 2. Focus on content. Read the rubric below. The article is a piece of writing in a newspaper or a magazine, and the sample letter. This is the sample letter. Sample means it is for you to look at and learn from. Do you agree with the writer's opinion? You read this article in a local newspaper. Write a letter to the editor expressing your views, telling him what you think on the issue, on the topic. The Brentville Times, this is the name of the newspaper. Ludlow Avenue hit by weekend of vandalism. Ludlow Avenue is the name of a very small street. At the weekend, residents, citizens, were woken up as a result of noisy vandalism on Ludlow Avenue. Payphones were smashed, destroyed. ATMs, cash machines, were put out of order, stopped working, and cars were damaged. Incidents like this, incidents are events that involve violent behavior, have become common, and people are worried about the the increase in this kind of violent behavior, aggressive acts in our normally peaceful town. Now read the sample letter. Dear editor, I am a concerned resident, a worried resident, and I am writing in reply to your article which describes the latest incident of vandalism in our town. To start with, it must be said that this is not the first time the town has been attacked, has been hit by vandals. Vandals are people who commit vandalism. Although, in spite of the fact that I am not an expert, I don't know much about crime, I think that this happens because some people have not been taught. Taught is the past and past participle of teach, to respect public property. The way I see it, in my opinion, children should learn at home and in school that these facilities, buildings and equipment exist. We have them. They are there for the benefit, to help general public, including containing themselves, the vandals. Moreover, what is more, I believe the authorities, the government, the police, should take specific measures, should do certain things to prevent vandalism, such as increasing police patrols, police watching over an area in the town. Apart from this, besides this, people must be aware, they must know that anybody caught vandalizing will be punished severely, seriously, very tough punishment. In conclusion, to sum things up, the summary, all in all, vandalism is a serious, very bad problem that affects, that makes changes to everyone in our town. In my opinion, it is high time, the time has come that we did something about this situation. Yours truly, Philip Burke. Now, why is his name written twice? Well, this is his name, Philip Burke, and this is his signature. You know, in Saudi Arabia, we sign like this. This is my signature. In Britain or in America, people would just sign by writing their names using their handwriting. So this is a signature. Now, read the letter again and find the formal words, expressions that correspond, that match, that give the meaning to the more informal meanings given below. In paragraph 1, this is paragraph 1, the first 2.5 lines. Can you find a word that gives the same meaning as worried? It is concerned. A person who lives in a place, resident or citizen, in reply, in response. Now in paragraph 2, can you find something that gives the same meaning as I have to say? It must be said, buildings and equipment, property, there are, exist, to help, to benefit. Do certain things, take specific measures. Have to know, must be aware. Now, focus on text cohesion and coherence. Cohesion is how you connect your ideas together using linking words like because, moreover, these are linking words. Cohesion and coherence, how you make your writing easy to understand by the way you connect and show your ideas. Read the letter again, paying attention to the highlighted words and phrases, the ones highlighted in yellow. Which linking words or phrases, again, linking words and phrases, are words and phrases that are used to connect two sentences or ideas together. Does the writer use to list points and add more points? He used to begin with. To begin with means he is giving the first point. Moreover means adding more points. Apart from this, give his opinion the way I see it. I think that, I believe, in my opinion, express contrast, show the difference between ideas. Although expresses contrast, express cause and reason. You can use because. Give an example, use such as. Sum up, to give the conclusion, he used in conclusion. Now, you can use in conclusion, because, or you can use any of these linking words and phrases. To list points, you can use firstly, to begin with, to start with. In the first place, you use these at the beginning of your writing, before the first point. And before the last point, you can say finally, Last but not least, if you want to put more points, you can use in addition to this, furthermore, moreover, what is more, also apart from this, besides. Another point worth mentioning is, to give an example, you can use such as, just like the one who wrote the letter, or you can use for example, for instance, particularly, especially. If you want to emphasize on something to show that it is very important, you can use in fact, as a matter of fact. Express contrast, you can use although, in spite of, despite, however, but. If you want to express cause or reason, use because of, as, since, due to, owing to. To express result or consequence, use therefore, in this case, for this reason, consequently, as a result. If you want to sum things up, the conclusion, you can say in conclusion, to sum up, all in all, on the whole, taking everything into account, into consideration. To give your opinion, use in my opinion, in my view. Personally, I believe, the way I see it. From my point of view, I am in favor of, my belief is that. Now read through the table and circle the correct linking word or phrase. In recent years, there has been a disturbing, annoying increase of forest fires started by arsonists. Arsonists are people who start fires around the globe, around the world. To begin with, or furthermore, we are not adding point. This is the first point. We have just started our letter, so we use to begin with. Arson, what is arson? The crime that is committed by arsonists, which is, it can be described as the act of setting fire. Arson is the act of setting fire with the intention, they aim at destroying property or being careless with flammable materials. Flammable materials are things that can be easily burned. Such as, or because of, cigarettes and matches. These are matches. Such as, cigarettes and matches are examples of flammable materials. Most cases of arson are due to, because of, individuals who burn down forests in the hope of obtaining this land for future development. Maybe they want to build a farm on that place or anything that can make them money. In spite of, or take for instance, the news stories from around the world that we hear every summer about forest fires that are out of control. Nobody can control them and stop them. This is an example. Take for instance. In fact or since, if fires. In fact, if fires continue at this rate, going this fast, it is predicted, it is expected that most of our forests will have disappeared within the next 50 years. Although, or consequently, serious environmental problems will arise. Now we are expressing result. The result of rapid fire, this problem will arise, will show up, will appear. Yet, in spite of, or in fact all this, in spite of all this, nothing is really being done to stop this criminal activity. Taking everything into account, or another point worth mentioning, well, we are concluding the letter, we are finishing it, so we use taking everything into account. You can also use to sum up or in conclusion. I personally believe that we all need to work together to save our forests and educate people, increase awareness in people, let them know on the dangers of forest fires set by arsonists. 5. Brainstorming. Read the article below concerning violent behavior of fans at football matches and in pairs or groups discuss the questions that follow. The residents, the citizens of our city became witnesses to violent clashes, violent fightings between fans of rival football teams. Rival, the team that competes against your team. On Saturday, the fighting resulted in the injury of many fans, as well as extensive damage. Extensive, it is spreading everywhere, to large distances, to the stadium and neighboring shops, surrounding shops. A spokesperson, someone who represents the Metropolitan Police is the police of London, the capital, has announced plans to combine forces with the local football clubs to control football hooliganism. Hooliganism is a kind of vandalism. It is when people destroy things because they are sports fans in the city. What do you think causes the violent behavior of fans at football matches? Well, I think they can't accept the fact that their team was defeated, lost the match. They can't accept that. Also, the increased stress many people experience today causes them to react emotionally, to behave emotionally, and even violently when they are disappointed. Their expectations have been failed by something. What kind of problems does it create? Well, the most important result of this behavior is that an event, a football match, that should be fun and encourage good sportsmanship. Sportsmanship is a behavior in which people respect each other and act politely. It transforms into something very negative. Many people don't go to watch their favorite team play because they are afraid that something might happen. What do you think can be done about it? Well, I believe that the police must make sure that the stadium is safe for the fans. Then they see someone or a group of people who are beginning to become disruptive, become vandals, then they need to do something about it. 6. Outline. Read the rubric and the outline for the letter to the editor below. You read the article above. You read this article in a local newspaper. Write a letter to the editor expressing your views on the issue of football hooliganism. You begin with a greeting. An appropriate greeting would be like, "Dear Sir" or "Dear Madam," or you can just write, "Dear Editor." In the opening paragraph, you write why you are writing the letter and what is the title or the topic you are writing in response to. In the main part, you have 2 paragraphs. In the first one, you write the reasons why this problem happens and what happens as a result of this problem, and can you justify. When you justify, you give reasons why your opinion is like this. In the second paragraph, you write how can the problem be solved and can you give examples. In the last paragraph, you summarize the conclusion. You conclude your opinion and then use an appropriate signature ending, sign underneath, below, at the bottom, and print your full name below your signature. Go to the workbook, page 30, and write a letter between 120 to 150 words. And when writing a letter expressing your opinion, write in appropriate style. Group related ideas together in paragraphs. List ideas in order of importance. Important ideas first. State your opinion clearly. Do not be aggressive, violent, or use offensive, rude language. Be polite. Use linking words and phrases. Go to Appendix 1 for the layout of formal letters and greetings and set phrases. Here is Appendix 1 on page 97. This can help you arrange and organize your writing. You can take a look at it in your own time, and here are some set phrases and notes that can help you. Now, we are on page 30 in your workbook. Let's brainstorm ideas. Greeting. What will we use? We will use Dear Editor. You can use Dear Sir, Dear Madam. In the opening paragraph, why are you writing the letter? The reason: I am writing in response to your article about violent behavior. This is the topic of the article. Violent behavior of fans at football matches. And then let's move on to paragraph 1. What do you think are the causes of football hooliganism? Some people can't accept defeat. Also, the increased stress many people experience today. What kind of problems can football hooliganism create? They turn events that should be fun into something negative. What makes you think so? Can you justify your opinion and give examples? Well, many people don't go to watch their favorite team play because they're afraid of what might happen. Paragraph 2. What can be done about this? The police should take extra measures. Can you give an example? Well, if the police see someone beginning to become disruptive, they need to do something about it. And then the closing paragraph, the conclusion. What is your overall, your general view of football hooliganism? Hooliganism is a serious, very bad problem that prevents people from enjoying sports. What should be done about it? We need to increase people's awareness about the issue, about the problem, about the topic, and then sign off with an appropriately formal ending. We will just write yours truly and then your full name, first and last. Here is the letter to the editor. Dear editor, I am a football fan and I am writing with regard in reply to your article about violent behavior of fans at football matches. Firstly, our city has witnessed acts of hooliganism several times in recent years. Although I am not an expert on the topic, I think that this happens because some people can't accept defeat. Also because of the increased stress many people experience today. Hooliganism can turn an event that should be fun and encourage good sportsmanship into something very negative. Many people don't go to watch their favorite team play because they're afraid of what might happen. Furthermore, I believe that the police must make sure that the stadium is safe for the fans. Then they see someone or a group of people who are beginning to become disruptive. They need to do something about it. All in all, hooliganism is a serious problem that prevents people from enjoying sports. We need to increase people's awareness about the issue. Yours truly, معتصم نديم. Thank you for watching this video. If you like it, please share it with friends. I will see you again next time, inshallah. Goodbye.